Hey everyone, I want to give a quick update on the early game mapping since many of you have been asking. This setup is very tanky, focused on shrink stacking, and we are using a much better frozen enabler. And the AoE clear is really excellent. And we have the single target damage as well to back it up, so this build really have the whole package. As you can see in the background, we are utilizing Galvanic Shard to freeze the enemy, which offers a much better quality of life compared to Glacial Bolt, even if it has slightly less damage. My gear is really a bit of a mess right now, and I was planning to do some farming to get the gears that I want before making the video, but the setup is really good and I think it will carry me all the way until maybe year 8 or 10, then we'll see. But you can see we are very tanky, we can tank within that ritual with no problem. We have 2000 HP and we are using a unique item though, which the price is cheap, but it could be expensive after this video goes up. So anyway, this happened. Yep, so with that, I was able to switch to my new setup and let's talk about it. If you're new, you probably want to check out this written guide first on my previous video, but if you're in map around level 70s and have some currency to switch, I'll put up the Mobalytics guide shortly as well and we'll update in the descriptions. Let's start by discussing the skill gem setup. The primary skills we will continue to use will be Fragmentation Round, and as you can see here, we have a 4 support gem setup, which I acquired shortly after selling the Greater Jeweler setup to get enough currency for the switch. This is the optimal configurations that we can achieve. So in here, I have Envenom for increased poison chance, Corrosions for armor break, Deadly Poison to enhance overall poison damage. This gems actually adds significant damage to our build. And Corbidity, which provides additional poison stacks. Overall, I think this is currently the best options for maximizing our poison damage. And this is the start of the show, I guess, Galvanic Shards. As you can see here, I'm using Glaciation to build up freeze faster, Blind Support to inflict blinds on enemy, and Fork for additional coverage. The reason I choose Galvanic Shard is because the skill hit very fast, and the beam change with the skill have 100% conversion, so it actually does a lot of damage, which translates to faster ailment build up as well. Before you ask, yes, we are converting 100% blind damage to cold damage, so the skill will build up freeze instead of shock, and I will cover it in the year sessions. Now, the blind here is actually very powerful as well because we are evasion based, and blind actually help us just face tanking a lot of stuff when the monster around you are blind. Next is the high velocity round setup, and I'm still very adamant about this skill as it's very good. But the best setup we can do right now for a 3-link would be Lacerate, Deep Cuts, and Scatter Shots. And I switched to Scatter Shots and it's much better, so yeah, just use it if you have a 3-link. With a 4th link, you can add in Inevitable Critical back, and you'll see that in the written guide. Now, the last skill is Emergency Reload, which is quite good. I mainly use it to refresh the cooldown of Galvanic Shard. Again, optional, but a good additional button to press. For the aura, the main mapping setup that I'm running would be Herald Plague, and it's mandatory. It's really good with Vitality and Clarity setup. This gift goes sustained for both HP and mana, and we have a lot of HP, so Vitality will be even better here. Herald Plague is essentially poison prolife, which means that when enemy dies, your poisons on them and it will spread and pick up the strongest poison to spread, so it's very good for us because we deal big hits, right? We freeze enemy, build them up with a really big hit from Fragmentation Round, deal crazy amount of poison damage, and you'll see in map that I need to just freeze one enemy, then shoot it, and then move on to the next pack because the poison will do the rest. Alright, so next up, I opted to use Wind Dancer and Scavenge Plating. We are armor and evasion stacks, and this gives both. Wind Dancer, it's good, we already know, and so I'll cover Scavenge Plating. It's very good because we breaks armor all the time, and during mapping with persistence of socket editing here, the uptime is almost always 100% at max stacks when we're fighting enemy, which means that it's 40% more armor, which is really good, and not a lot of builds are constantly breaking armor like we are, so this will get even much better later in the game when we start stacking armor. Now, the second socket support gem is Cannibalism and is submitted into Wind Dancer. So at this point, I think it's almost mandatory for any HP build to use this gem. So for us, Poison Kill also count as skill, and this gives us infinite sustain during mat. You can even keep up the scavenge plating on bosses as well, because we consume armor break with high velocity round, and then you break it again very quickly with fragmentation round. So overall, the setup is pretty nice. The last options I'm not too convinced on, but you know, it's extra damage, and it's my big AoE button when fighting in Ritual, Bridge, or against any high density packs. Basically, it stores your poison damage, and when it's at 100%, you cast it anywhere to drop a big poison nuke at that area. Now, these separate gems are astral projection, so you can cast it anywhere and magnify the effect for the increased AoE. Another option is to turn off Scavenge Plating and Plague Bearer, and then turn on Attritions. Either option should work, and if you're lazy like me, maybe Attrition is better since we don't really have any problem with small mobs anyway. They will all die from a big poison per list. And Attrition is just better overall when fighting bosses or like tanky rares. Alright, so very quickly, for the gears, the two most important pieces to talk about will be the weapon and the ring. First up, I bought this weapon upgrades for about 30x, and it's nowhere close to our endgame weapon yet, but it's a better upgrade than my Act 4 weapons. The main focus here is to get as much physical damage as you can, and you also want critical hit chance for weapon. Now this line is so important because we want crit for big damage, but crossbow have low crit base, and this should help. Now the unique ring that we are using is Call of the Brotherhood, and by the time I got it, it was only 10x, and you only carry on one line, and it's the freeze build up. Now try to get this as high as you can without breaking your bank. And yeah, this ring is basically the build. We're converting lightning to cold damage, so our Galvanic Shard can basically freeze the enemy. In the rest of the gears out there, mainly to fix my resistance, and I don't even try to get them with maximum life to sick currency because we get so much free life from strength stacking and the Ascendancy notes of Gemling Legionnaires. You also might have noticed that I grab a lot of rarities on my gears as well, and even using a golden charm. No, this is because rarity is a good stat, and you will drop more loot with better loot, so yeah, grab it wherever you can without sacrificing too much stats. So the TLDRs is in terms of priorities, ring with high freeze build up, crossbow with high fist damage, and then cap resistant and rarity on gears. Oh, and you know we have strength stacking, so if you can grab strengths on the gear as well, that would be nice, but I guess that would be a lower priority at the moment. Anyway, so yeah, finally let's talk about the Ascendancy and skill trees. Now, I have made the full swap to enhance effectiveness for strength stackings, and Gemling Legionnaires is such a strong attribute stackers that you just need to do it, okay? So let's talk about how effectively we are stacking strengths. First up, we have this Ascendancy nodes here, which essentially double our HP gain from inherent strengths, which is why we have so much HP right now. If I had more life stats on my gear, I could easily hit 2.5k HP at level 74. Then we have Unexpected Finesse. So this node here gives us accuracy, so we basically we don't have to worry about accuracy ever. And we are going to stack that with this node here, the Falcon Dive, which increase our attack speed per accuracy rating. Which, let's see. We have about 2,000 right now, and that's 8%, right? It's not much, but we'll get more later. Now the attack speed does help with the Galvanic shots, which we are using right now, so we'll need to scale it up, balance it out a little bit, because we take this crossbow node here, which shall reduce our attack speed. So it affects our reload time very slightly, but not by much. Anyway, next up we have the hefty unit node here, which give us basically immunity to stunts. And we have a lot of strength, so once I get it, of course, like I'll have the stun immunity. So the full tree is planned out on Mobalytics, and I'll keep that updated as well, so you might want to check it out later. Another thing is I need to fill up these jewel slots, and what you're looking for is mainly ailment damage, hit damage, crit chance, you know, attacks, the generic stuff. But yeah, anyway, the jewel is very strong, and you definitely want to get the good one to boost your damage. I am not going for IR yet, but I'll look to do so in the endgame. With some of these notes are actually very strong. But for now, the main priority for me is to push map. I'm happy with the armor and evasion shell right now, so I'll grab this for stun immunity. I'll grab polymathy, and that should push me to tier 10 or higher. But yeah, that's about it for the skill trees. With this setup, I'll quickly show you in a map to see the rotations and the gameplay. The key is still to freeze the enemy with Kawani shots, then pop the enemy for a big poison, and if this poison kill, it should proliferate to the next mobs in line and basically to kill them all. Now for any tanky rares, you can ammo break them and shoot with high velocity round. Pretty reliable combo that should work. For a single target, like again boss, right? You can use if the boss is resistant to cold, you can just use fragmentation round and high velocity round. If they're not, then use the normal combo, freeze, use fragmentation to pop the freeze, consume armor break with HVR, and rise and repeat until dead. This build is going to be pretty tanky, and so it should be pretty comfy during maps. But yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like the video, and comments down below. I'll see you next time.